Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down how to create this collage effect. We're going to be breaking down how to create this collage effect from the Catch Me Outside 2 Lyrical Lemonade music video. I thought it was a really cool effect. It was also a video suggestion, so I want to show you guys how to create it. So here in After Effects, I have 5 layers in total. I have 5 clips from Central C's music video. And I believe in the Lyrical Lemonade music video, they had like 7 or 8 layers in total, but in our case, we're just going to work with 5 layers, and we're still going to be applying the same technique to all of our layers. So to get started, we're going to focus on this first layer here. I know it's the 5th layer, but it's the first clip. So we're going to focus on this one. What we're going to do is go to the 1 second mark, because that's when I want to create that animation where it zooms in at the start. For the start of this collage effect, we want to create that really fast zoom in animation. So what I'm going to do is just cut this layer so that's only 1 second long. Then we're going to grab this layer, right click it, go to time, and then click freeze on the last frame, because we want to make sure that the first part of this clip is playing normally, and then once it hits the 1 second mark, it's a freeze frame. And I'm just going to cut this layer down to the 1 second and 12 frame mark. Open up the scale for this layer in order to create that zoom in animation. Keyframe the scale, and then we're going to go forward 8 frames. Zoom in to like 120%. Easy ease both of these keyframes. The next thing we're going to do is duplicate this layer. Click Ctrl D, turn off all these other layers for now. For this layer that we just duplicated, I'm going to extend it all the way because we did create that freeze frame effect for this layer. And then I'm just going to go forward to the 1 second and 12 frame mark and just cut this layer so that we only see the freeze frame layer. And what we're going to do is mask out a part of this layer, just like the Lyrical Lemonade music video, where they masked out half of this layer. But you want to make sure that when you mask it out, you include your subject's face. And the reason why we're doing that is because once we mask it out, we want to make sure that we have transparency on this part of the layer so that we can see all the other layers as well. I know that can sound a little confusing, but the more we get into this, it's going to make a lot more sense. Grab the pen tool, and I'm going to mask it out like this. My mask isn't going to look the best, but then if you were to create this effect, you definitely want to make sure that yours looks a lot better than mine. Okay, so I masked my layer out like this. As you guys can see, we have that transparency on the right side of this layer. The next thing we're going to do is turn on the second clip. For the second clip, we're going to create that stutter effect and then move the position of this layer so that we can see the masked out layer that we just masked out. So for this second clip, you want to right click it and then go to time. Enable time remapping, and then keyframe the time remap at the start. Go forward 6 frames, and you want to go forward 6 frames because I don't want the stutter effect to be too fast. So you want to aim for anywhere from like 6 to 10 frames. But yeah, so just keyframe that right there, and then we're going to extend this layer all the way because we want to make sure that once we create this collage effect, that all of these layers are going to be shown the entire way. So after you keyframe that one, go forward another 6 frames, grab these 2 keyframes, click Ctrl C, click Ctrl V in order to copy and paste those keyframes. And then you're just going to do that until you reach the end of the layer. Now when I play this, we have that stutter effect for this layer. And then for this layer, we're just going to bring it underneath the masked layer, which was the duplicate of the first clip. So as you guys can see now, because we masked out a part of this layer, we can see the second clip. Open up the position of this layer, and I'm just gonna move it so that we can see both of our artists. I'll move it like right there. Now when I play this, we have that freeze frame effect with the second clip playing in the background. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is grab the third clip, go forward 6 frames from the beginning of the second clip, grab that third clip and just drag it back. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want that layer to appear after the second clip. I don't want them to appear at the same time. And for this third clip, we're actually going to be rotoscoping our subject, but before we rotoscope our subject, we're going to create the stutter effect just like we did for the second clip. So right click it, go to time, and then enable time remapping. Keyframe the time remap at the start, go forward 6 frames, keyframe that, and then extend this layer all the way towards the end. Copy and paste these keyframes until we reach the end of the layer. After creating those keyframes, we're going to double click this layer, grab the rotobrush tool, and then I'm going to rotoscope my subject. Once you're done rotoscoping your subject, click the freeze button. go back into the composition, and now we have our rotoscope subject with the stutter effect. I'm going to add a drop shadow. For this effect, I'll increase the distance to 25 and then increase the softness. I'll have that at like 100. Duplicate this effect, and by adding these two effects, it just makes our layer pop out more and it doesn't feel as flat. For the fourth clip, we're going to do the same exact thing as we did for this third layer or for this third clip. So turn that one on and then drag it back. I want that appearing at the same time as the third clip. Right click this layer, go to time, enable time remapping, and then do the same exact thing where we created that stutter effect. After creating the stutter effect, rotoscope your subject. I'm going to adjust the feather as well as the shift edge. I'm going to increase this one to 10, decrease the shift edge to around -50, and then we're going to add the drop shadow effect to this layer as well. Go to the third clip, click Ctrl C, and then click Ctrl V to this layer in order to copy and paste that effect. For this one, I'm just going to change the direction to 225, duplicate the effect. Before we get into the fifth and final clip, we're going to create that animation where it looks as if a camera is sliding from left to right, just like the collage effect in that Lyrical Lemonade music video. In order to create that animation where it looks as if a camera is sliding from left to right, we're going to create a new adjustment layer. For this adjustment layer, I'm just going to cut it to the start of these other layers. Then we're going to add a transform. So this is the effect we're going to use in order to create that animation. We're going to be keyframing the position. Keyframe the position at the start. I'm going to have this animation end around the 7-second mark, so it's going to be pretty long. Before we go all the way towards the end, I'm going to go like around here, and I'm just going to slowly keyframe the position. So that way I can see all of my other layers. With the layers that we rotoscope, open up the position for the third clip, move that more towards the right so that we can actually see our layer. I'm going to keyframe that around like right there. Click that adjustment layer, move that a little more towards the right again, and then grab that fourth clip and move the position of this layer. So this all just really comes down to how you want your layers to be laid out. Then grab the fifth clip, drag that underneath all of these other layers because I want it to be behind these two rotoscope layers right here. Grab that layer and just drag it back all the way to the start of this animation. And for this layer, we're not going to be doing any rotoscoping or adding that stutter effect. It's just going to be a normal clip. So I'll just drag that all the way towards the end. And then I'm also going to adjust the position, drag that all the way towards the right, have it so that it doesn't create that transparency between this clip and then the one that we're positioning right now. Okay, so after doing that, go back to that adjustment layer with the transform effect. And we're going to keep dragging it towards the left so that we can see all of our other layers. I'm going to keyframe mine like that and then just drag this one all the way towards the end. I'll just drag that to the 7-second mark and then cut the timeline. Grab both of these keyframes, easy ease them. Now when we play this is what we have for the collage effect. To make this effect look even better, we're going to create that kind of choppy or laggy look. I don't know how to describe it, but we're going to create a new adjustment layer. Cut this adjustment layer to the 1-second mark so that it starts right before the animation for this collage effect. And for this layer, we're going to add a posterized time. Decrease the frame rate to 12. This is what we have for our final effect. So by adding that posterized time effect, it just makes the collage effect look a lot better and more realistic. And that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys like this one. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.